this is editor Arlie here, and I just want to say there is an error that I made while doing this. So if you want to avoid that, all you have to do is with the physics, you want to add a deformer to the whole iris when squishing it. And then when you do the eyeball X and Y, you want to have another deformer with the whole iris in. And that will not have you have the issue that I had. So I just want to put a quick disclaimer so that you don't run into the same error as I did, because it takes a little while to fix. But yeah, that should not even fix the issue, just you won't have that issue at all. But that's all I wanted to say, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye! Hello, Lemon Drops! So, today we're doing a tutorial of how I do and rake my eyes. So, we have a guinea pig test subject. Oh, I should have got Doll Chen's thingy out. Here we go, we have Balchon. The name was from, I'm pretty sure, Kitty Amodi. She did one and I stole her idea, so I'm sorry, but I like the name, so I'm stealing it. Okay, this is Balchan. I'm actually pretty annoyed because her model is actually really pretty and it doesn't even matter. So, what is this? Well, that's the sketch, we don't need that. Okay, so first we're gonna mesh everything and clip everything because as you can see, clipping is not here right now. So all I'm gonna do is actually here. There we go. And we're gonna clip this to the head shadow, and you want to clip that to your head color. Right, I'm gonna give you guys a tip. If you have anything, so you can either separate it like this and have that color, but if you don't have any blush or head shading at all, you can just have the head, like the whole head as one layer and not separated like this. So ignore my keyboard, it's really loud. Okay, so we're gonna mesh everything. So we're actually, if you click shift and you copy the whole thing, we're gonna give everything an automatic standard mesh. And then we're gonna go back and do some of the stuff after. So we're rigging the left eye, I believe, first. Yeah, we're rigging the left eye, so to be honest, just ignore the right eye. You don't even have to go and fix those. So, we're going to zoom on in and check the meshes. To be honest, the eyelashes, it doesn't really matter. It is mainly this that you will want to remesh. So, click up here, and to be honest, it looks pretty good for an auto mesh. We're just going to move it so that this middle line is actually in the middle, and then we're going to bring it in. I do not know why you have to have it, like you can't have the mesh really wide. My guess is it just makes it easier when you add deformers to it, but I don't actually know the reason why. You want to add about a square, so if you have the grid on, you want about like a square. Just don't have it really wide, because it doesn't need to be, but just make sure that it's not clipping anything. Because if you have it like this, so wait, let me do it properly and I'll show you what happens if you don't do it properly. I'm gonna move my mic because it's annoying. It's in my way. Anyway, but I'm gonna show you what happens if you don't mesh the whole thing properly. Ignore those blue greeny lines, they don't really mean anything, just ignore them. So if you have it meshed properly, it all shows up. So let me do it solo so you can see. It's all together. But if we do this, it's gone, and it doesn't clip it, and it will disappear. So just make sure that it's all in. So that is the main thing you want to remesh, to be honest, is the upper lash line. Oops, that's my cat. Everything else doesn't really matter, if I'm being totally honest. So, first we're going to go over how I personally separate my eyes. So, you want to have the sclera. Personally, and I might get some hate for this, but I don't really care, you do not need to separate the eye sclera shadow. I don't know if it's just because personally I don't add a big one, but it doesn't matter, you don't have to separate it. So you want to have the sclera, and then you want the iris, which is this bit. Control Z to undo. And then you want the pupil, and then you want all of your highlights. I recommend no more than 3 because then the inverse layer could get a bit weird. And then we have the lower eye crease, is what I call it. The bottom lash line. If you don't want lash physics, you can add these bottom lashes onto here. It won't do that much, but I want lash physics, so I'm going to show you guys how to do it. So there. I'm sorry if you hear me sniffling. I currently am recovering from a cold, which is why I didn't stream last Tuesday. But anyway, and then we have the upper one, the upper lash line, which is what we've just remeshed. And then if you don't want lash physics, you could have all these upper lashes on one layer. It just depends. But yeah, if you don't want lash physics, you can have all of these on one art layer, so they'll all move like this. Oops. But yeah, those are the separation. So now what we're gonna do, oh yeah, inverse clip in there. So you want to grab your sclera and you want to move it above that. So you should have your eye, everything that's with the iris and pupil, you want it underneath. And then you want to go on here, find the iris, and it should look like this. And then click reverse. And then you want to clip the iris to the sclera, which is now on top of everything. Like that. And then you want to grab all of this, and then you want to clip all of that to the iris. So now when you move the iris, it's all in one. But yeah, the only issue is if you have any more than 3 highlights, is it will not clip it. So do you see how those disappear, the eye highlights as well? One of them just won't disappear, and it's not that big of an issue, but it can cause a bit of annoyance. Now the pupil won't show through, so you don't need eye skin. Do not add eye skin unless you have really detailed detailed eye skin shading. But yeah, unless you have really detailed eye skin, which I don't, I just use the normal skin and just some eye creases, then yeah, but just clip it and see, look, don't need any eye skin. I see people doing eye skin and it just makes their life so much harder, because then whenever it's like this, it wouldn't clip. Just don't do that, it makes your life so much harder. Anyway, now we're going to organize the parameters. So, to be honest, we don't really need any of these right now. So we are just gonna, can't really see my keyboard because my freaking mic is in the way. But we're mainly focusing on these. So you do want all of these. Yeah, and then we're gonna add some more as well. So I'm just gonna quickly do these. You don't need brow X and brow angle. They don't get tracked. It's just a waste of your time, so just delete them. I'm not adding cheek puff either, so you can just delete that as well. And she doesn't have any hair either. So, now you have all your parameters. Now, so, we're going to add the parameters from here. So, you want to add, this is for the lashes, so you want to add lash X, lash X, just keep the minimum and maximum. And then just replicate, and then this is lash Y. So those are the lash physics, just 2 parameters. Now for the eye physics, you want to add left eye eye squish and left eye spin. That's it, and obviously one for the right, so we're just gonna quickly do that. Right eye, oopsie. Oh my god, I don't know how to spell. Right eye squish and right eye spin. And those are the only parameters for, oh my god. Spin. And that's it. That's all the parameters. Also, I forgot to say, add parameter, it's just this plus there, and that's how to add a folder, and that's how to delete. Anyway, now for the actual eye rigging. So, you want to go and find your upper eye lash line. So that is this one right here. So you want to get the deform path tool, and you want to make like 6. 1, 3, 4. Actually, no, like 5 or 6. And then you want to go to this. I personally like to add 3. Should I do? No, we're gonna do eye wide. Actually, scrap that. You want to go on edit parameter, and you want to put the maximum to 2. Did I actually do that? Yeah, I did. And then you want to grab that bit. Then you want to go here. So you want to add 0, 0.5, 1, and 2. So this is your wide, this is your normal, half closed, and fully closed. So we're just going to do that for this one as well. All we're going to do is change the maximum to 2.0, and then boom. So this is, oh, another important thing. Go on to the 3 lines here, click lock deform. Oops, I clicked the wrong one. This it means, so let's say you're not on it, it won't let you move. And even if you're on the middle, it won't let you move unless you're changing something. So I like to do the eye closed first. First thing you're gonna start with. Wait, I need to blow my nose. Not blow my nose. Wait, my nose. It's not a good idea to record this while sick. Anyway, I start by just moving it down about to there. Okay, actually, like halfway. I feel like, oh, hold shift and it will only let you move straight left, right, or up and down. And now you want to go by the middle and just deform it until it looks closed. So you want to pull this all the way down, like this, and you want it so there's a little bit room for the bottom eye to move up. So that looks pretty good to me. And then, so now it should open and close. Now we're gonna add the lashes. So you wanna hold Control, click all of them, and then again, 0, 0.5, 1, and 2. And you're actually gonna hold this and flip them downwards. And then you wanna get the deform brush tool, I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. This brush tool right here. You want to not have it massive. And then you just want to edit them so they like don't look bad. I don't really know how to describe this. And then you want to add this, oopsie, this, and you want to move this down. This is very important. I also like to tilt it a little bit so it matches it a bit more. And you basically just want to add it to there. And now this is where the hiding bit comes. Actually no, we're going to do the bottom lash first. So bottom lash line, again, using this. I like to do the solo so I can see it a bit better. This one doesn't need that many, even though I'm pretty sure we just did the same amount, but whatever. Again, this bit is a bit annoying, having to keep adding the keyforms themselves, but it's worth it. So first thing, you just want to move it up. And then you can stretch it out a bit. And then just do it so it fits. And then you can just hold the bottom lashes and add the keyforms. And then just shove it up somewhere. It doesn't even matter that much, to be honest. You want to get the bottom lash line. Again, add all of these. And you want to move this up. And then this is the hiding part. So, again, add all of these. And then you want to grab this. Yes, I know it's not hiding that bit. We'll hide that later. Try not to move it too much. Just smush it. Smush it under, hide it under the rug. And then you want to go to your iris. That's why it's still not moved. And then you just smush that under too. See? Gone. No trace of an eyeball. But yeah, try not to move it around too much because then when you open it, it'll go a bit weird. Now the last thing to hide is the eye corner if you have one. Some models don't, mine always do. So you just smush that under as well. So you just smush, smush, and then boom, we have a closed eye. I am going to fix this eye corner a little bit because it is not really to my taste. And then boom! So now to show it, and as you can see, that looks a bit weird, but it's fine. We can fix that. You want to click select, and then you want to go down, find your perfect lazy eye, which I like to call it. Control Shift C, Control Shift V onto your 0.5. Click OK. And then boom, and all we're gonna really change are those top lashes. You just want to bring them down a little bit, shape them a little like that. This is also the time that we're gonna fix this situation. And then boom. Oh, we're also gonna fix the corner. Here, all we're gonna do is add this and like stretch it out, to be honest. Not really much else we need to do. We're just gonna have to use the brush actually. The brush makes this easier. And then boom, you have your half eye. So now it looks like this. There is a bit of a thing here. But it doesn't really matter. Okay, so now we're gonna do the wide eye, which is pretty easy. Go on to here, and you're gonna hold shift and just move these up. You're not really touching the right at the end, and you're not really touching right at the start either. It's just mainly this, and these two a little bit, but mainly this middle one right here. And now we're gonna go to the no, not this. Actually, yeah, you normally have to move it up a little bit. Now, this is, we could add a deformer here, but to be honest, I'm a bit lazy. I'm not gonna add one. Now, you have two options. You can either make it bigger and have all of this get bigger, or you can have it smaller. It's very much up to you. You do, in fact, though, want to add some keyframes to these because I don't think the highlights or pupil will have any. And now it will all move. So yeah, you can either have it get bigger or smaller. It's up to personal preference. I normally have it get smaller, so you want to go hold shift, and this is your shocked. Oops. And you want to switch back to see if it just gets smaller, which it does. And then we get rid of, hold control, click on the iris to get rid of it, and you also want to shrink, oops, hold shift, shrink those to get smaller as well. Okay, actually maybe not that small, that was a bit much. Like that. And then again, You just want to make, you're slowly flicking back and forth to make sure that it's lined up and it's just zooming in and nothing slightly moving to the left or right, which it doesn't look like it is. Now, you could leave the eyelashes where they are because they aren't clipping on anything, but I personally just like to move them up a little. You will have to get the brush, kind of fix them a little bit. But there, and now you have, to be honest, it does look kind of creepy without that. Ooh, actually, one more thing. You want to move this up. There we go. And then you have the whole eye done. Yeah, I'm joking, we're not done. The last thing you want to do before we get onto physics is you want to get your eyebrow. You can just add 3. It doesn't need this lazy one, to be honest. And you want to make this go up. So it goes up. And then you want it to go all the way down when you blink. So now, it looks like this. Now, I will show you how to do something first. So go to File, Keyboard Shortcuts, there it is right in front of my face, and find Physics Settings. I have mine as Shift P, and all that does is it opens Physics. So you don't have to go to Modeling and Physics. It's just quicker. Now, actually, the last thing we're gonna do before we test the blinking in physics is you want to go down to settings for eye blinking and lip sync in that 3 bars, and then you want to find left and right eye opening, and then mouth form and mouth open, and that will be that for mouth syncing. So now it should blink. It takes a little. There we go. And it blinks. And we also have wide and blink. And you see the eyebrow moves. There. So now on to eye smile and then physics. Which these are technically simple physics, but they work, they look good, they're what my model has. And I think they look pretty good, and they work with all eye highlights. I've never had to change it, and it's pretty simple, and it doesn't make you want to pull your hair. So, you want to go to bottom lash line, and you just need 2 dots. So on 1, you want to, you can either use this or the brush. I actually did this wrong. You want to move this up slightly, and then you want to move it up a lot here. So this is just so when you smile, your eyes like squish. I personally like to use, a brush. Oh yeah, add this. Just squish it, and you probably want to bring that down a little. There, and then all you have to do is, I actually added the eye color by mistake. And I personally like to do that, and then push it down a little bit. And then there we go. We have eye smile, and it's literally that simple. You can also, which is what I'm gonna do, move this up a tiny bit. So now it looks like this. And it's super cute. You can also add the eyebrow, do a sad thing. Ooh, do you know what I am gonna do on this model? We're gonna make the iris get bigger. So add 2 keyforms, and how you do this is hold shift, expand, make it bigger, and then you mainly want the pupil to get bigger. So once we have that nice big pupil, so now it should look like this. We do want to move this slightly because it is moving a bit. And it's so cute. It just makes her look more happy. Now the last thing to do is go on here, click select. What do we have on here that, oh, it doesn't matter. Then you want to go in here, click synthesize corners. And hopefully if it works, because sometimes it doesn't. Yeah. Now, the only thing you want to do, it just makes it so even if you're like that, If it doesn't, like this, it doesn't really matter because you're not really going to have this. But you want to take it off, go on all the things that are affected by that. Click Control-Shift-C, turn it on, Control-Shift-V, click yes, and then for this, instead of the bottom lash being affected, the top lash is going to be affected. So we're just going to have it so it smiles. I also like to bring it down a little bit. And then all we do is we just add everything else. So it actually still is going up, but I can't remember if this model has it. I don't know if it did, but it looks super cute. Again, you just want to smush everything so it looks, oopsie, so it looks decent. You also probably might want to change, we actually don't need that one, it's mainly these two that are a bit weird. And then boom! So it goes from this to this, and it just looks cuter. So now if we have this, it will look like this. I actually don't like how this bit isn't like this, so we're gonna go on these, Control-Shift-C. I actually don't know if I did that properly. And here, Control-Shift-V. There we go. We actually are gonna fix that a bit. Here, just have it less like in your face. Then we're gonna move these up, and then it should look, oopsie, something like this. And then when it's off, there. So we're gonna go back into our physics, and there, and then even when it's on, we wait for it to blink. There we go. So now for physics. Actually, I lied. We need to do these. So what I like to do is have all of it move. So hold shift, click both. So you want to have it all move first. So move it to here, and then to here, and here, up, and down, again holding shift. And then you want to get rid of these, and then when you do it, you want to have it move slightly the other way. Just slightly. And if you can't be bothered to do it both, you can just, actually for this we're going to add this. Motion mirroring and horizontally. So then it looks like this, and it just makes it look more natural. Then here, this is up, so you move it slightly down, just slightly. Then you move it slightly up, and then you want to go on the whole eye, click synthesize corners, make sure it's eyeball X and Y, and now the corners look fine to me. So now when we go onto here, it looks like this. I'm doing this because it looks weird when you see both of them. So now we can actually do that. We're going to start with the eyelash physics. So we do one at a time. Yes, I know it's very annoying. What you're going to do is you're going to click on all your eyelashes, and then go in here, and you need 3. So now we can do them individually. You want to get this and just do like 3, like that. So then here you're going to want to move it slightly this way. If it goes weird, just like go like that. And do not motion mirror because it will look weird. Look, I'll show you. We motion mirror. Oh yeah. We show only one parameter selected. Motion mirroring, it will look weird, I bet. See? I don't know why it does that. Control Z to undo. You have to do it manually. Again, if you see we're just click on these. You want to curl a little bit more, and now actually you want to move it like this a bit more. Whee! And now it looks like they're dancing. So you just want to do that with all of them. So I'm going to quickly speed through this until we get to the bottom ones. Okay, another thing you can also do is get this and have the ends move very slightly. You do have to be very careful with this, and it won't move as much as everything else, but especially if you have one like this where it kind of looks like an eyelash at the end, it will help. So now if we set back, it should look like this. Whee! Wiggly wiggly. Now the bottom lashes actually. Bottom lash. You can just add 2 on these. And then, oops. Make sure you click off this and onto that, because otherwise, like you'll see, it will just carry on moving the line and not the actual art. So I think lash physics are pretty simple, especially the ones that I do anyway. They are very easy and they do not take much time. So make sure you hide that, and now the X ones are done. It should look like they're blowing in the wind. But as you see, the corner moves a little bit as well. Now for the Y. So the Y, all you're literally gonna do is hold shift, stretch upwards. Okay, actually don't hold shift because it goes a bit weird. Like that. And then for this one, just smush it down. That's kind of it. It should just like look like it's growing and then shrinking. That's kind of all we're gonna do. So you stretch up, do this a little bit so it matches, and then bring it back and stretch this top bit down. And that's it. So down and up. And now the bottom lashes. I personally don't move them as much as the top ones, but it's all up to personal preference. There we go. Now you want to select all of them and so the size corners, lash, oops, X and Y. There we go. So now if we do this, which you do not need to keep, I'm just showing you, like this. We're gonna do all the physics and then we're gonna go into the physics and actually set them up. So now to show you what these two mean. So you don't need to set up a deformer, to be honest. Actually, you are because I'm gonna show you 2 ways to do this. So this is left iris. So I'm going to show you 2 ways to do this. So you could either have it just so it gets, oops, do not click Control Z. Don't click Control, just hold Shift, not Control. You can have it so they just get bigger. So this is how I normally do it, but I want to try something. And then hold Shift, smaller. So that looks like this. And I noticed that this is going a little bit to there. So you can just have it like this. Now for the spin, you are not touching the actual iris. You want to click pupil and then all your highlights, and you want to go over here and make a rotation deformer. And we'll just call this left eye spin. And now I'm going to click 3, and I personally do mine at 15 degrees. So it should show you the number here. We do it all the way to 15. I just find that that's a good number. And then you can just motion mirror this horizontally. And that's it. So now we're going to go set up all the physics. So we have ball chan here. And you're going to click add. And this is going to be lash physics. You can name yours whatever you want, but this is for the lash physics. So you want to add the smile. Keep it at position. It shouldn't need to be an angle. And now you want to add 2 pendulums. And go here. Go to eyes. Lash X and Y. So now you're just going to try and get the maximum. And then you want to add. And now when it blinks, they move, but that's a bit much. So we're gonna decrease it. And now see how it looks then. It's still quite a bit. So we're gonna have this shake influence to about, we'll try 90. I'm trying to do it before it goes again, but I should have just typed it in. There we go. So now wait. There we go. We're gonna add the conversion down a little bit to about 97. There we go. There we go. And those are pretty nice. They stop before she blinks again. So that's nice. So these are my settings. We have the conversion is 97, the reaction time is 1, and the shake influence is at 0.9, and no one really cares about the duration. So that's the lash physics done. They're done. We are not going to touch them again. Now for the eye physics. So we're just going to call these left eye physics. The same thing. It's going to be left eye open. 100. 2 pendulums. And we're going to find left eye squish and left eye spin. Again, just move it around, wait till she blinks to get the maximum output. There we go. And now we're gonna increase these. And decrease. And now see where we're at. So this lasts too long. So we're gonna change this one to 90, the bottom one. Because I think it lasts. Do you know what? I don't even know if I like that. We're gonna up the eye squish a bit. Lower this. Lower. Keep the reaction time the same on that one. And we're gonna lower it a little bit. This one. Do you know? I don't think I like that. So actually, if you've done what I've done on the eye squish, I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to do it again. I'm sorry, I don't really like it, okay? The idea was good, but I feel like it's this bit that looks weird. So all you're gonna do, get this, click that at this, and you just want to make it bigger and smaller. We tried something new and realized it looked terrible. It's fine. It takes not that long to fix. Also, I don't know if I said this before, I don't think I did. But also, you want to also make these smaller, because as you can see, it doesn't make those smaller as well. And if this is in the way, just click that and it gets rid of it. And then we want to make these bigger as well. That's a bit big. Like that. Switch through, make sure it looks fine. And we're going to go back to here and see if that looks a bit better. So wait till she blinks. There we go, that is a lot better. It still is a bit much. Is it? Yeah, I feel like this shake, the spin is a bit much. So we're gonna have it down to like 86, see if that works. There we go. There we go. So one last thing we are gonna do is have this move when she looks left and right. So you want to undo it and go on this. So then when she looks this way, you want to get the brush for the smoothest. Doing this, you want to do that a little. You're probably going to move the lashes separately on this one, so just add all the lashes for now, but we're only going to move a few of them. So just go like this so it goes out a little bit. Have this one move a smidge. So when she looks, it pushes it out. Then you don't have to do this. I just like to do it because I feel like it looks cool. And then again, you're going to have it for the other side. Again, you're going to move the lashes a little. And then you should have something like this. And then for the up and down, just ignore that. You want to have a bit of a bigger size brush here. And you want to move it up. So you're going to want to add all your lashes. I'm going to move them up separately. But you can try moving them all at once. I just don't think it will work on this model anyway. There we go. And then for the bottom one, we're actually gonna use this, add this, and you're gonna have it so it moves down. Again, you wanna add your bottom eyelashes, move them down, just move them with it. And then when we synthesize the corners, select synthesize corners, and no, this is eyeball X and Y. So now when we move the eyeballs, oh, we have an issue there. It is a very easy fix. We just want to slant it a little bit, bring it back down, move that a little bit, and then you just want to fix the corners, which are pretty easy to fix. Here we have an issue with the sclera. Oh yeah, we don't even have that. Move it up just so it reaches. I also see that this eyelash is being a pain. Again, tilt it a little bit, bring her down. I also noticed a little bit that this doesn't quite go down enough. So we're gonna fix that too. If I just did that synthesize the corners, it would have looked. And then you have something like this. I've seen people do it smoother, but I'm still pretty new to that. So now we have the blinking and this. So how do we do the other side? I'm so glad you asked. If you have a symmetrical model, you can just delete everything that's in the other side. So you want to delete all of your right eye. If it's not an issue. You just keep it, lower the opacity, so then when you copy and flip it, you can move it. But I recommend just having a symmetrical model. Then you say bye-bye to that. But keep the folder. You can copy, you can get rid of the folder as well, but that just means you have to rename that one, and I just am lazy. So click all of this, Then you want to right click, copy, so it should take a little while, and then click on your folder, right click again, paste. Now don't do anything. Right click again on the workspace and you want to flip. Now anything that's an X you want to flip. And I spin as well. And there we go. Again, don't stop. So you want to go in here, click change to right eye open. And you're going to do that with everything that has a right or left. Change right eye smile. Check that this all moves fine. It does. I also want to check. Yeah, so you don't need to reflect the eye squish, but you do need to reflect the eye spin. The lashes, we don't have left and right. You can have left and right, but I'm just lazy and you don't really need them. Right eye squish and right eye spin. So now you can click off. And now for the physics, we go to right eye physics. You want to duplicate and just change it to right. You want to change these. Oopsie. See, we have an issue there. I don't know why that eye is not blinking. It does have a blink. Did I not do this properly? Ah, there's our issue. I clicked the wrong one. Quick and easy fix. Now, as you can see, the eyebrow is not moving. That is because we haven't done the eyebrow rigging, because that will come in another video. But just for the sake of this, we're going to get the right eyebrow, click 3 dots. This is actually the wrong eye. Teehee. I'm just going to do this manually. So they're about the same. And then move it so they're about the same. So now when we go on to this, and we look at Bal-chan, she has beautiful jiggly physics, her eyebrows move, and nothing's clipping or being weird. And personally, you can change the physics settings if you want any of the physics to be more pronounced, last longer, last shorter, aren't as in your face. I personally have a rule where whatever the physics are, they have to stop before the next set of physics works. Like starts. So before she blinks again, they should stop, and then she blinks again, and then they start over. This just stops this from going crazy, because if it lasts too long, and you can change this by the reaction time, so when she blinked, if they're still moving and she blinks again, it can make it get messy, and personally, I don't like that. But, so I like it. This is good. The lash physics are a bit much, but she has pretty big eyelashes, so I don't even mind. But yeah, this is how I do lash physics and rig the eyes in general. So once you've checked that there's nothing wrong, cool, look, nothing's clipping there. Turn the eye smile on. Nothing's clipping there either. And boom shakalaka, we are actually finally finished that rigging. And save. This is going to be my last VTuber model, so just go to desktop. I have a whole thing of VTuber models. And then you want to save it in a folder. And there we go. And that is how you do eye rigging, or how I do eye rigging. Oops. We wanna. There we go. And boom, Bal-chan has eye rigging. So if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and like. And if you want to see me rig the rest of her, or give her a body, and I can make this a whole tutorial, just let me know, and I'll see you all later. Bye.